Hi everyone, this is Barb. I am going to paint something fun today, and this is going to be a fun little painting of a springtime sky with a branch with some pretty blossoms on it. So let's see, make sure everybody's can see what we're doing. So first of all, I have it 8x10 canvas, and I'm trying out a new Stay Wet type palette. So I'm going to be using this blue, primary red, and white to start for our background. And it looks like the cameras are working, so that's a positive start, right? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just get some color back here. So I like to, I'm going to dip my brush a little bit in some water. Sometimes it helps to have your brush moistened to get things moving. So I like to do like a crisscross type fashion of brush strokes. I don't want to totally mix all these colors together, but this will, it'll look like there's some sunshine peeking through a little brighter in some areas. Like maybe there's a few clouds in the sky, and just I like this effect. To me, it's a neat effect. So when you're trying something new, it's good to use a small canvas, or if you want to use canvas, you can use artist paper. There's a multi-purpose type paper in the pads used for multimedia. You can use that as well to test out your design before you do something larger, so that's always a good thing to think about. It'll save you time to work out if you want to make an area larger, or try different colors, or just to see if you got the perspective right. So say hello when you come on in the comments. Just adding a little more blue and white. Got a little purple from the mixing of the two, so that can be fun. The countdown to spring is getting very close. This is the pre-spring excitement here. If you have an idea of a topic or type of painting you would like to see me do here, leave that in the comments too. I'd love to see what you're thinking of. Crisscross. We almost have this covered. This can be a quick design if you're just wanting to do something and not think too hard about it. You know, just kind of give your mind a break about thinking about some hard things maybe, or a lot of people are on study breaks. This week is spring break in a lot of places. Okay, so now we've got that covered. I'm going to go ahead and use this same brush I can get it to a pretty good edge there, and I'm going to put in a branch. So I have black here, which I'm going to add just a little bit of white and black to my brush. It's mostly black. And I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just draw with the brush. We're gonna say this branch starts out here, and then he's gonna come up like that. And since our branch up here is connected to a tree, it'll be a little thicker up there. And then it could come out and do some extra branches too. So let's go ahead and make one right here. Okay, one more maybe. I think this type of design was one of the first paint parties I ever had with a group. Kind of feels like I'm going down memory lane a little bit here. That was fun getting started. When I first started Studio B, I started it so I could meet other people that like to paint as well. That was my whole desire when starting Studio B. And it's grown a little bit over the years. Okay, you could make your branch darker if you'd like. I'm going to let mine dry a little bit, and I might add a darker area underneath. So like the sun's coming down from here, and so I might have some shadow type areas there. So next I'm not gonna go ahead and dry it because all the colors we're using today, they mix well together, except the black. I'm gonna be careful as I use the black. So next I'm going to go ahead and use my angle brush, and I'm going to start making some blossoms. So I'm going to moisten my brush just a little bit and tap it on my cloth here, and then I'm going to come in. So I have a little bit of a mixture happening right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up to use it. And I'm going to be kind of mean to my brush. I'm going to use it backwards with the point down, because I want this to be somewhat abstract petals. That is pretty wet. Alright, let me try this again. I'm trying not to use the dryer today. Alright, there's one. That doesn't quite look what I was thinking of, but So your petals, they don't have to be all the same shape exactly, or all the same color. You can have a variety. And I'm just going to tap this one in, because he's kind of far back there. And whoa, that's fun when your equipment starts to slide. All right, I think we're good. Guess I just won't get too excited with my pouncing here. Just gonna tap these in. Come in and add a little more white to that one. And sometimes you gotta kind of wipe some of the paint out before you start again. I love springtime, but boy, does it mess with allergies. It's kind of starting to feel that. Some of the trees in our area are starting to bud a little bit. I'm going to add a little blue to my pink, makes a different shade. Pounce this in. This can be the effect of maybe some colors that aren't quite as bright underneath, and then you can put brighter on top. Alright, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to dry this. Just one moment and make this work a little easier. So you can learn from what was happening with me here. The layer underneath our background was still pretty wet, so I was not able to lay that other paint on top very well. I did switch brushes as well. And I'm trying to keep a abstract looking things going on here. But now they all just look like little puff balls. Maybe you live in an area that you don't see these kind of blossoms maybe till a lot later, but you can play around with color now. And if you've never lived in an area that has blossoms like these, or that you know of, you can use your imagination and try something new. It is good to have a reference photo, but that doesn't mean you're locked into that. Now I do have purple here as well, so I'm gonna come in here with some darker areas. I learned a long time ago, if there's a lot of light, add some dark. If you have a lot of dark areas, add some light. It's a good rule to go by. Helps to keep your picture balanced, visually balanced. One of my cameras wants to go skiing off its spot that I have it perched on. Now I have some green. I'm going to go ahead and tap in a little bit of greenery here and there. Today is not about having something exact. But to get some ideas how we would do things. So my reference for this picture was this one that I did probably in about 2016. It's on a, this is actually a rolled up canvas that my husband stretched on a wooden frame for me when I was done. So you can see I went over the sides, and so that was really fun. But when I was first getting started, I wasn't sure exactly how all the equipment worked back then, and you know what? I'm still learning. Still learning new processes. And added a little white to my brush. I don't want all of my greenie the same color. Instead of painting stems towards these, I thought I would just tap in a little bit of greenery, and then I can have some that are just tiny little sprigs thinking about growing. You can make up a little story as you're painting. It's kind of fun. Alright, this is kind of trailing off slightly. That's fun. Who's looking at seed packets and seed catalogs? Or brushing up on the how to garden type videos? That's fun to start thinking about how things might work in your garden this year. Alright, I like how that's going here. Maybe just, I'm going to have something right here, like it starts off behind that cluster here. There, now this space feels a little blah, but you don't have to cover everything. Maybe take this out just a little, add a little more white to it. I'm trying not to let it develop into like a spider. I'll rinse the green out a little bit. I think I can come in here and brighten this up a little more of that primary red is what it was called. And I'm just using soft body paint today. And I'm really excited to try this Stay Wet palette. That will save up some cleanup time. In between sessions, although my sessions this week are supposed to be daily. A painting a day. How's that sound? I think that sounds like a good idea. I'll add a little purple just because I want to. So you could do this with the light peachy yellow, white, and white blossoms too. That would be pretty. Alright, that's a start. I might need a little green there. I'm gonna pick up some green. I didn't clean my brush. I'm just gonna add a little green right in here. Trying not to let it look like a snow cone, or you know what I mean, a cluster of one thing. This one could have a little green here. And you could have lots of fun, like in this, the way I did this one, I made the little buds that are just getting ready to open. This one, I'm not really showing that. But with this cluster right here, I could have just a tight looking, like a little bud getting ready to open. And if you do that, you might want to come in and add the little detail of the, I want to say prangs, but I don't know. If you would do that, you'd want a thin type brush, like a liner brush. I'm going to take a little bit of black and some green. See if I can do one right here. Just want to give it that little detail, but I don't want the black to be like, woohoo, here I am. Little tiny detail there. This one I might put one like that. Alright, now I'm going to come in while I have this going. I'm going to carefully come in and add the darker side for the branch. And you don't want it too dark, because then it will kind of look out of place. So I added a little more white to this brush that has a little black on it. This one I want to say the light's hitting that there from around it. Now your branches don't need to be nice and smooth like this. It can have, you know, a few knots that bump out if you want to have a little different effect. I'm going to highlight a little area here. I'm going to tilt this so the other camera can pick this up. And if you feel like you got a little too much, at the starting point I might just pop in a little green right there. A branch like this, you can practice the distance, like if you want this to be more in the background, then your foreground would be, you know, more detailed. Or if you want to say this is your foreground and these are pushed back, you could play around with having stronger detail the area you want the viewer to feel like it's closer to you. This here feels like there's a little too much light green, so I'm going to just kind of pop in a little darker green here and there. I hope you see what I mean by light, adding some light where there's a lot of dark, or adding dark where there's a lot of light. So here that has a lot of dark, so I'm just going to come in with a little bit of light. Lighten some of that green. And if you want to say, have this look like it's further back than this one, just light touches. I feel like this could be a highlight there. See, it only takes this tiny bit to bring something into the viewer's eye a little clearer. So, okay. One camera is doing great, the other one's making me do this, the paint surfing here to keep up with it all. So there is that one. Show this to the other camera. And I hope you enjoyed that. Leave in the comments other topics you'd like me to paint. This week I am thinking about spring all week. So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.